All right. Just want to talk about Olivia Munn saying that the robot takeover will be on August 27th at the Oscars this year. Just an interesting time for it to happen. The night before, in the Warriors game, they made a big deal about Draymond Green saying, "I am not a robot," and the locker room at halftime and whatnot. It was really irrelevant to anything. So interesting. He said, "I am not a robot." The next night, Olivia Munn at the Oscars says that the robot takeover will be August 27th. And this date is a big date. It really sticks out to me a lot, and I'll show you why here. So August 27th is the 239th day of the year. We're in the 239th year of the United States right now. Also, the Oscars were on 2/28 of 2016. The 239th year of the United States actually began on July 4th of 2015. And if you go from July 4th, 2015 to the day of the Oscars when Olivia Munn said that, it's 239 days later. So literally 239 days into the 239th year of the United States, Olivia Munn says that at the Oscars. Also interesting, it was the 88th Oscars. Talked a lot about this with time travel and whatnot, but also a lot of stuff has went back to Pope Francis's visit to the United States on his 923rd day as Pope. He met with Obama at 9:23, or he arrived at the White House at 9:23 on 9:23. And in other parts of the world, they write the date as they write it backwards. We write it as 9-23. They write it as 23-9, similar to 239. Just lots of coding to this, but what's interesting, it's the 88th Oscars. Normally, the 88th day of the year is 3/29, which is actually 9:23 backwards. This year, it's the 89th day of the year, though, and the word robots, if you write it out in gematria, equals 89. Another interesting thing about August 27th is this year, in 2016, it will be the 240th day of the year because it's a leap year, and we'll be in the 240th year of the United States after July 4th this year. So it'll be the 240th day and the 240th year of the United States. Also, if you write out 240, it equals 216. Just interesting, mention this number a lot because 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Obama was born on August 4th, the 216th day normally. This year, it's the 217th day. August 3rd is the 216th day. August 27th this year as well is Obama's 7th year, 7th month, and 7th day as being president. He started on January 20th, 2009. You go to August 27th, 2016. So 777. So the night before, Draymond Green, like I said that I am not a robot during the game. And in gematria, I am not a robot equals 143 and 53. Draymond Green in gematria equals 143 as well. And also 71 the small way. Interesting, the Warriors got their 53rd win that day. I am not a robot also equals 53 the small way. The game was on 2/27, which was the 58th day of the year. The Warriors were playing their 58th game of the season. Also, I found out from one of the comments that 143, I've mentioned this a lot around earthquakes. Richter scale equals 58. Seismograph equals 58. The study of seismology goes back to 585 BC. I mean, tons of stuff with it, but I've also mentioned 143 a lot with earthquakes. And in English gematria, basically what you do in English gematria is you take the simple English gematria and you just multiply it by 6. And what's interesting about it is 143 times 6 is 858. So every time you see a 143 in simple gematria, it actually coincides with an 858. The mirrors, 85 and 58. Numbers we've seen over and over and over. Freemasonry equals 58. I mean, just tons of stuff. 85 ties into Back to the Future. Biff Tannen wins all of his money in 1958 on the 85th day of the year. The movie's set in 1985 and whatnot. Also interesting, though, August 27th, the robot takeover day, the date numerology adds up to 71. Just like Draymond Green. Also, 227 to 58 is a span of 71 days. If you go to Obama's birthday this year, it's a span of 5 months and 8 days. The Oscars on the next day, 228. The Oscars to 85 is a span of 5 months, 8 days. Olivia Munn's real name, Lisa Olivia Munn, equals 171 in Gematria. The 71, 17 mirrors. Also, what really stuck out, I've been seeing this number a whole lot lately, especially in regards to the Golden State Warriors, but also a little bit in the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the 71st day of the year in 2016 is 3/11. I mean, there was a whole bunch of stuff. The Paris attacks, it was 311 days after Charlie Hebdo. And there was a ton of other connections to 113 and 311 dealing with that. I can't remember them off the top of my head. I'd have to go look them back up. I didn't write them in here. But it's interesting because we have a lot of these KKK stories coming out recently with Donald Trump. There was also the KKK stabbing at the KKK rally in California. And, obviously K, the 11th letter. So KKK is literally 311. I remember even when I was a kid in like 6th grade, we talked about how the band 311 was all about the KKK. I mean, I just remember talking about that as a kid, whether it is or not. Just interesting. I never even put it together as a kid, the K is the 11th letter and whatnot. Or I never thought about gematria is what I'm getting at when I was a kid. I never put it together that all of this would be coded into other events, but I guess I was just a little kid, so whatever. Anyway, the Paris attacks were on 11/13, November 13th. If you go to the Grammys, it's a span of 107 days. Just interesting, earthquake equals 107. And the reason I bring that up is because remember Hulk Hogan broke his ribs, or he got his ribs broken by earthquake, right? And earthquake's real name is John Tenta. John Tenta equals 107. So go figure, the guy uses the nickname Earthquake. His name even adds up to the same thing as Earthquake in Gematria. But when Hulk Hogan got his revenge, it was at SummerSlam 1990 on August 27th. So just an interesting day again. It was also at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. I mentioned a lot of Philadelphia over the last year, just lots of foreshadowing to Philadelphia. It also sticks out a lot because of WrestleMania 31 last year that was in Levi's Stadium. That's in the San Francisco Bay Area, right? Draymond Green and the Warriors. The Warriors even originally from Philadelphia. I've talked a lot about an East Coast earthquake that involves Philadelphia. Interesting in regards to the 71, Draymond Green 71, Moses equals 71, the Ten Commandments 71. He was in the tribe of Levi. The Super Bowl was at Levi's Stadium. WrestleMania 31 was at Levi's Stadium. Super Bowl 50 equals 71 is also the Golden Super Bowl 71. It's in the San Francisco Bay Area. Pope Francis equals 122, just like Golden State, just like San Francisco. They were both named after St. Francis of Assisi and whatnot. So whatever, just pointing it out. Catholic equals 71. Also World War III equals 71. Also, remember in WrestleMania 31, they brought back the New World Order and D-Generation X, and then Triple H and Sting fought a match. And that's when Hulk Hogan came back out and whatever. So interesting last year that they would bring back these two groups. And recently I've been talking about the X theme that I noticed in regards to the Super Bowl and Malcolm X and Kobe Bryant. All kinds of stuff with it. Anyway, at WrestleMania 31, they did a whole Terminator skit. Triple H even came out all dressed up like a Terminator, whatnot. Then they showed the footage from the new Terminator movie where it had the destruction or the car wreck that was on the Golden Gate Bridge and whatnot. And in the Olivia Munn article, there was a bunch of people tweeting or talking about Terminator 2, or just Terminator in general, and the Judgment Day. And they were saying that Olivia Munn, did she just like get a Terminator joke wrong because she was 2 days off, August 27th, not the 29th? Because Judgment Day is August 29th. Interesting too, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, also the governor of California. And this guy just stuck out a lot to me, Edward Furlong. One of the main reasons he's John Connor, like the leader that is trying to save the world, basically, the human leader in these movies. Or he's like the basis of the movie, you know. Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first one comes back in order to kill his mom so he's never born and whatnot. So, interesting, but it sticks out because he's in a big racial movie. There's a lot of Civil War type theme, a lot of racial things going on in the news and whatnot. Like I said, with Malcolm X and the Black Panthers and all kinds of stuff. And he is the kid who dies at the end of the movie American History X, the big racial movie and whatnot. In Gematria, American History X equals 202 and 85. And Terminator 2 is also called T2, T the 20th letter, so 20 and 2, 202, just like American History X. Just found that kind of interesting. American History X, it even listed here, it says it's named the 311th greatest movie of all time by Empire. Interesting. Edward Furlong, his full name Edward Walter Furlong in Gematria equals 227. Just like the day that Draymond Green said, I am not a robot, 227. He was also born on August 2nd, which is the actual day of the Declaration of Independence was signed, not July 4th. John Connor in Gematria equals 126. 827, or August 27th, the day Olivia Munn was talking about. There's 126 days left until the end of the year. Terminator 2 even released, its first release was in Los Angeles on July 1st, 7-1. So just another 71 reference. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, if you write it out fully in Gematria, it equals 113. Like I said, I've been seeing these 311s and 113s. Skynet in the movie was activated on August 4th, 1997. That was Obama's 36th birthday. And then Judgment Day was on August 29th, 1997. Another interesting thing, we've been talking about a lot about Back to the Future. Tons of things have led Back to the Future this year. The Super Bowl and multiple events. The World Series. But Back to the Future Day was on 10/21 of 2015. A day where there's 71 days remaining in the year. It's also 311 days before August 27th this year. So anyway, I just kind of looked up some things that about robots, you know, I was just thinking about them. The movie Robots I've never actually seen. I know my daughter watched it before, I've never watched it, but I kind of wish I would now. But look, the movie came out on 3/11/2005. I mean, what are the odds of that? It's called Robots, comes out on 3/11. I also couldn't help to think of the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, the Fresh Prince from Philadelphia and whatnot. Also, it connects to Robin Williams. You know, Robin Williams is Bicentennial Man. That movie is based off of a book by Asimov, just like I, Robot. I was also thinking of the movie Transformers. Transformers equals 58 in Gematria. Decepticons equals 113. Autobots equals 113. I mean, it's a civil war between robots. But anyway, like I said in this post here, I need to watch some of these movies or go back and rewatch some of this stuff. I really think that August 27th is probably too obvious. There's no way that they would do something that big. I wouldn't think, since it's, you know, it was foreshadowed at a big event like the Oscars. But it definitely is connected to 3/11 and 11/3, so March 11th or November 3rd, definitely days to watch out for. I even mentioned how the number was connected to the Warriors and the Trailblazers, who play again on 3/11, so most likely the reason that the Warriors lost big was to foreshadow the 311.